I was scrolling the other day, not aggressively scrolling, not doom scrolling, just that, casual thumb flick while waiting for my coffee. And I saw an article that stopped me cold. It was about the TikTok takeover of Gen X women. Not teens, not 20-somethings, but us. Women in our 50s, women in our late 40s, showing up on a platform that was supposedly built for dances and trends, and somehow turning it into a place for truth, humor, reinvention, and very real conversations. And I just sat there thinking, of course we are, because Gen X women have never really followed the rules. We've just quietly rewritten them. We're not slowing down at this age of life. We're finally speeding up in the right direction. This is the season where we stop asking, is this allowed? And start asking, do I actually want this? And that feels big. What I love about watching other Gen X women take up space online is that it's not loud or performative. It's not, look at me reinventing myself. It's more like, I've lived, I've learned, and I'm not done yet. We're not chasing relevance. We're claiming authorship. And that's a very different energy. Because here's the thing that no one really prepares for. Midlife isn't a slow fade. It's a pivot point. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized I'm standing in that exact space right now. Because my truth, I genuinely love my 9-to-5 job. It's more like 7:30 to 4:30, but and I am excited about my growth there. I like who I am and who I'm becoming in that role. It challenges me in good ways. It fits the woman that I am today. And 10 years ago, that would have been the whole story. You love your job, so you stay grateful and quiet and call it a day. But something in midlife shifts. This is the chapter where the noise finally quiets enough for you to hear yourself think. Where the kids are older, the career is established or exhausted, and the question starts tapping you on the shoulder at inconvenient times. Is this really it? And instead of panicking, a lot of women are doing something radical. They're choosing curiosity. They're asking, what would I love to do next? Not what's practical, not what makes sense on paper, but what actually lights something up inside them. Not the life they had at 30. This isn't about starting over from scratch. It's about starting from experience. I don't want to blow my life up. I don't want to burn everything down and start over. I don't want chaos disguised as courage. What I want is expansion. I want room to explore the ideas that keep showing up. Room to create something that feels like mine. Room to use the parts of me that don't clock in and out. And I think a lot of Gen X women are right there, or right here, really. And that's why seeing Gen X women show up online feels different. We're not chasing trends. We're sharing perspective. We're not performing. We're telling the truth. And we're not trying to make it. We're trying to make it meaningful. This stage of life isn't about proving we still matter. It's about realizing we always did, and now we get to decide how that looks. I think that that's why TikTok feels like such a strange and perfect place for this moment. It's fast, yes, but it's also raw. It rewards honesty. It lets women speak without needing permission. And Gen X women, yeah, we have a lot to say. We've lived enough life to know what doesn't work. We've healed enough to trust ourselves. And we're tired enough to stop pretending. This isn't a crisis, it's clarity. And I see it everywhere. Women starting small businesses, creating content, creating a podcast, sharing wisdom, consulting, writing, teaching. Not because they're desperate for something new, but because they finally have the space to listen to themselves. This isn't starting over. It's starting from experience. You don't lose your past when you step into your next act. You bring it with you. The lessons, the scars, the confidence, the boundaries, and maybe that's what feels so grounding about this moment. We're not rushing. We're not frantic. We're intentional. I can't help but notice that so many of us are choosing our next chapter not from fear, but from desire. Not, what if I fail? But, what if I don't try? And if you're listening to this or watching it and you feel that quiet nudge, the one that says there's more you want to do alongside the life you already love, I want you to hear this clearly. You don't have to choose one thing. You don't have to justify your dreams. And you don't have to wait for permission. You can love your job and want more. You can be a mom, a wife, a partner, a friend, a daughter, a sister, and be deeply curious about who you are now. You can be grounded and expansive at the same time. That's not confusion. That's evolution. And maybe this Gen X takeover isn't really about social media at all. Maybe it's about a generation of women finally realizing that the next chapter doesn't need to be louder, younger, or smaller. It just needs to be ours.